Rob Herring, and he's going to, well, I don't know, look, maybe we should talk first before we just have you sing for us. So,
Sure. Hello,
okay.
weekly women's GMO free news. Is that what it is?
That's what it
Yes.
is. Yeah, it's a little
How
rough.
are you? Thanks for having me on.
Hi, Rob.
And this is Jessica. She's, oops. People trying to talk. Sorry.
Hello.
Bad time. Oh.
So I'm Andie Frostad.
Go ahead, talk. Andie, go ahead and talk for me, okay?
Yeah, and we have our guest. John and Rob. So he has a new book out, and it's called Drift. So, and it talks about. You can share that again, John, if you like. Oh.
Yeah, it's a. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. It is an ecological thriller about genetically modified foods and agropharmaceuticals and threats to agriculture and designer pathogens and bad guys with guns. You can't forget the classics. And it's coming out in July from Tour Forge Books. And I'm working on the sequel right now, which will be coming out in August of 2014, and that is called Dead Out. And deals with GMOs and colony collapse disorder and what's happening with the bees around the world. And bad guys with guns.
Okay, so Rob, tell me the story about how you found out about this. And actually, what I really want to hear is your story about how you met Jeffrey Smith, because I thought that was very interesting. I'd like that.
Sure, sure. Am I coming through with the audio? Okay, great. Yeah, I first found out about this, I guess at a relatively young age. I started reading about alternative health stuff, just online, natural news, Mercola.com, that kind of thing. And the GMO issue just stuck out as something that seemed like a sci-fi. Oh, John, I want to shout out. I think that's awesome. I'm all about, putting these types of messages into entertainment, and so I really look forward to reading your book. That's amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah, I just when I first heard about it, it seemed so epic to me that it could jeopardize life as we know it on the planet. So I was always a musician as well as an actor, and I started to get upset with, more frustrated. Well, I was upset for sure. But I started to get frustrated with the way that I couldn't communicate this. There were a lot of things in the alternative health world, studying nutrition and stuff like that, alternative medicine. When I tried to kind of tell the average person that I was feeling a resistance, and it's tough to get these messages across when people have certain beliefs. And I tried to ask myself, how can I combine my passions for alternative health and for entertainment and music? So I figured if I put these things to song, maybe it would be an easier way to convey a message. So I was listening to a lot of Eminem at the time, rap, but I'm more of a folk singer, and I kind of started writing this rap about genetically modified foods. And at the time, I thought it was just so crazy. It's too weird. It's too weird. So I didn't show anybody for the longest time. And I was actually going to go to a convention called the Longevity Conference with David Wolf. And I started making a demo of the song to pass along to anybody at that convention. And then it was about a week before the convention, and I hadn't finished the recording yet, and I was kind of procrastinating. And the next day I saw online was actually the Natural Health Expo. And Jeffrey Smith, who was, an idol of mine, I just loved everything that he did, and I've been reading his work for a while. And he offered a free ticket to the Natural Health Expo the next day where he was giving a talk. And I thought to myself, you know what? This song is so much more appropriate for him than it is for David Wolf or anybody there. It's more up Jeffrey Smith's alley. So I stayed in that night. I actually canceled my plans that Saturday night. I made the recording. The next morning I was ready to go, so excited. I'm going to make this happen. I made a demo. I wrote out a whole note to him and put in one of my resumes that he, had an idea of what I looked like. And in my mind, I was going to pass along to one of his, assistants. I wouldn't be able to speak to him, I assumed. And so I got in my car. My car didn't start that morning. And I thought, why is the universe doing this to me? My roommate at the time knew how much it meant to me, and he had work that day that got canceled that morning. It was a very universe aligning moment. He said, take my car. So I drove down there. I ended up going into another panel before Jeffrey Smith, a guy named Kevin Trudeau, who is a little controversial, but his health information is usually pretty accurate. And I was sitting in this big conference hall of maybe 600-700 people or so, and I started thinking to myself, maybe I should just give it to Kevin Trudeau, because he's talking about GMOs a little bit, and who knows if I'll be able to meet Jeffrey Smith. And at that very moment, in that massive hall, Jeffrey Smith sat down in the seat right next to me. And I thought, you know what, there's something going on here. This is supposed to happen. So I leaned over to him, and I can't imagine what he thought. I hand him this manila envelope, and I'm like, I wrote this song. We start talking, and someone in front of us is like, excuse me, I'm trying to listen. So we got up, and we walked out, and we started to chat for a minute. But I think he just, didn't know what to think of it. And that was that. And then about 3 months later, I got an email from him saying, Rob, you're a genius. The song is brilliant. I love it. And that just changed everything for me, because I used to just be, a usual singer-songwriter, writing the everyday song about heartbreak and whatnot. And this kind of gave me the fuel and the confidence to pursue something I'm much more passionate about, which is putting these messages of health and social awareness and change into songs. So my first big one was the GMO song called Question What's Inside, and Mercola.com was very kind to produce a music video for me, and that got tens of thousands of hits, and is still out there. And then, one thing led to another. I started getting invited to conferences and events to play this song and some of my other tunes. And then I went to Berlin and rocked to 25,000 people, which is just a dream come true. And they've invited us back to play again this late spring or early summer. So that's exciting. And ever since, I've just been going out there, and I have a bunch of other songs that cover different issues that I'm passionate about, mostly having to do with health stuff and environmental stuff. And I'm trying to finish the album now, and that's where I'm at.
So what was the conference or what was the event in Berlin?
It was called Rock for Nature,
okay,
which is really cool. It's kind of like sort of Germany's version of what is it called? Somebody help me out. The Farm Aid. It's kind of their. I guess it's sort of their Farm Aid. They don't really load it with a ton of stars every year, but in the past they've had people like Joe Cocker, the Scorpions, the lead singer of Supertramp. So they've had some big people there. So we were just blown away to be invited at all. Because I'm a nobody. So that was really cool. And
not no more.
Yeah. Hopefully, I may be a star in Germany soon. So. Yeah.
You'll be a star here too. You're the hero of a lot of moms.
Awesome. Well, thank you. That means a lot to me. That's awesome.
It was I first saw your video on Jeffrey's website.
Mm-hmm.
On the Institute for Responsible Technology site. So
yeah, Jeffrey's great. He's become kind of a mentor and a friend over the last year and a half now, and he invited me on the Truth About GMOs tour. He was touring the whole state of California, which is where I'm at. I'm in Los Angeles, so I was very active in the Prop 37 campaign from the very beginning of the initiative, signature raising, signature gathering, and all that stuff, all the way to the very end. I got to play my song, about 1 million times, and which is great. I wanted everyone in the state to hear it, and I also made a cool video which you can check out on YouTube. It's in that series of I hope I'm allowed to say this word on Weekly Women's GMO. It's shit GMO people say. Shit GMO companies say. There's a whole series of those. So I figured, you know what? Why not ride that popular thing there and make my version of that. So that actually got a lot of views very quickly too when we were right in the heat of Prop 37. So I got to hang out with Jeffrey quite a bit. He's a great man, really sweet, and a genius. He's, we have him to thank.
So are we going to have time for you to play your song for us?
Yeah, it's up to you. If you guys have time, sure.
I would love it. John, you want to hear it?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Cool. Let's do it. Let's go question what's inside. Well, I like to eat fruit when it's ripe and veggies prepared just right, but that can be hard to find. But I know that not everyone is into this as I am. Hopefully once in a while you're buying from organic sources. Oh sure, it may cost just a bit more, but it's all for the future of the world and the farms we need. What do you think your children are gonna eat when all the food is owned by one company? Once they patented every single seed. I'm not making this up. No, you can look this stuff up. Yeah. Don't you pull out your smartphone so soon. Can't you wait to the end of the tune? All those seeds are modified genetically. It'd be nice if we tested them for safety before we start ingesting them thrice daily. But it doesn't seem to be a priority. Yet I see the seeds of disease getting deeper and creeping above my knees. Freezing no reason to keep from fleeing, but all I need is what I've eaten. And I'd rather eat it whole, not refined but natural, the way you find it, how it grows. And I'm aware that there are those who think that this is so ridiculous, but I'ma stick with this. There's so much sickness, we'll get through this, but only if we all say no to GMO. Oh. If I had the last word, I'd warn you of all the hazards, but these fat cats have mastered getting laws passed faster before the evidence is explored and not after. So science stays hidden and we're given a disaster. But if enough folks can uncover this hoax, we might be able to expose the dangers of GMOs. Who knows? If we reverse the flow of this trend, we'll send them a message and help it come to an end. So help us all out, read about this stuff, and we might just stand a chance to stand up to the man. We can all raise our hands, demand some answers, and when we call the bluff enough, they will be peeing in their pantsuits. Cause not one study proves this stuff's safe, and it pains me to face the fact that we won't be able to trace anything back, because the labels will lack the fact that it's not actually what it claims to be. Though it might taste the same to the layman, you see, don't you dare say amen for what you will partake in, or thank God for the blessing that messing with you it's made in a laboratory by a human. Your dinner's fake, man, and I'd rather eat it whole, not refined but natural, the way you find it, how it grows. And I'm aware that there are those who think that this is so ridiculous, but I'ma stick with this. There's so much sickness, we'll get through this, but only if we all. One more. Question what's inside, what you put inside your body. Quit relying on the liars who are smiling from the money that's fattening up their wallets from the processed foodaholics. Profits keep them from speaking about their products, making all of us sick for this stuff. And I'm sick of their games. I'm sick of the freaking fake science and fraudulent claims. I want to shake it all up, cause surely there's no team or any kind of machine that's really keeping food clean. I don't consider it clean with artificial crap in my food. And while I'm rapping at you, please don't crap in my food. Ew, cause that would be rude. But ain't it ruder to exclude genetic engineering from the labels of our food? I said, what could he be talking about? How is it I never found out that GMOs are all around? They don't make a sound, no, they don't come to your town and say, listen people, this'll drop your jaw to the ground. Wait till you hear about what's in the food's DNA. If you don't take action to change, the chain reaction remains. If we don't demand labels here in the USA, it won't be superpowers that we get when we mutate. And I'd rather eat it whole, not refined but natural, the way you find it, how it grows. And I'm aware that there are those who think that this is so ridiculous, but I'm gonna stick with this. There's so much sickness, we'll get through this, but only if we all say no to GMO. And the crowd goes wild.
That was great.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
you have to check out the video. It's with the whole band, and I donate 50% of all the iTunes downloads of that track to Jeffrey Smith's organization, the Institute for Responsible Technology. So you can find it on my website at therobherring.com, or I'm at facebook.com/therobherring, or Twitter, therobherring. Just Rob Herring was taken, so I had to add the. But anyway, that's on there, and you can download it and some of my other stuff on iTunes. All of my tracks, I donate a percentage to a deserving nonprofit. So
That's terrific.
that's my mission. Yeah.
You guys were awesome for coming
Yeah.
on. I so appreciate it, and we're over our hour, so I hope we don't get cut off. I don't know how this works, but we'll see.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob and
Thank
John.
you, Rob. Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thanks,
Thank you for
it
what
was
you're
great.
doing. Pleasure
Yeah.
to be on.
Again, when we get it handled better, we'll have you on again. When the book's out, John and Rob will just have you on again soon.
Cool.
You take
Love it.
care, and we'll see you later.
Thanks for doing